Hello, everybody. This is The Home in the World by Rabindranath Tagore. Chapter 4, Bimala's Story, Part 9. When I was about to enter the sitting room, I saw Sandeep immersed in an illustrated catalogue of British Academy pictures, with his back to the door. He has a great notion of himself as an expert in matters of art. One day my husband said to him, if the artists ever want a teacher, they need never lack for one so long as you're there. It had not been my husband's habit to speak cuttingly, but latterly there's been a change, and he never spares Sandeep. What makes you suppose that artists need no teachers? Sandeep retorted. Art's a creation, my husband replied, so we should humbly be content to receive our lessons about art from the work of the artist. Sandeep laughed at this modesty, saying, You think that meekness is a kind of capital which increases your wealth the more you use it. It's my conviction that those who lack pride only float about like water reeds which have no roots in the soil. My mind used to be full of contradictions when they talked thus. On the one hand, I was eager that my husband should win an argument and that Sandeep's pride should be ashamed. Yet on the other, it was Sandeep's unabashed pride which attracted me so. It shone like a precious diamond, which knows no diffidence and sparkles in the face of the sun itself. I entered the room. I knew Sandeep could hear my footsteps as I went forward, but he pretended not to and kept his eyes on the book. I dreaded his art talks, for I couldn't overcome my delicacy about the pictures he talked of and the things he said, and had much ado in putting on an air of overdone insensibility to hide my qualms. So I was almost on the point of retracing my steps when, with a deep sigh, Sandeep raised his eyes and affected to be startled at the sight of me. "Ah, you've come," he said. In his words, in his tone, in his eyes, there was a world of suppressed reproach, as if the claims he had acquired over me made my absence, even for these 2 or 3 days, a grievous wrong. I knew this attitude was an insult to me, but, alas, I had not the power to resent it. I made no reply, but though I was looking another way, I could not help feeling that Sandeep's plaintive gaze had planted itself right on my face, and would take no denial. I did so wish he would say something, so that I could shelter myself behind his words. I cannot tell how long this went on, but at last I could stand it no longer. "What's this matter?" I asked. "You're wanting to tell me about?" Sandeep again affected surprise as he said, "Must there always be some matter? Is friendship by itself a crime? O Queen Bee, to think that you should make so light the greatest thing on earth. Is the heart's worship to be shut out like a stray cur?" There was again that tremor within me. I could feel the crisis coming, too importunate to be put off. Joy and fear struggled for the mastery. Would my shoulders, I wonder, be broad enough to stand its shock, or would it leave me overthrown with my face in the dust? I was trembling all over. Steadying myself with an effort, I repeated, "You summoned me for something touching the cause, so I've left my household duties to attend to it." "That's just what I'm trying to explain," he said with a dry laugh. "Do you not know that I come to worship? Have I not told you that in you I visualize the Shakti of our country? The geography of a country is not the whole truth. No one can give up his life for a map. When I see you before me, then only do I realize how lovely my country is. When you've anointed me with your hands, then shall I know I have the sanction of my country. And if, with that in my heart, I fall fighting, I shall not be on the dust of some map-made land, but on a lovingly spread skirt. Do you know what kind of skirt? Like that of an earthen red sari you wore the other day, with a broad blood-red border. Can I ever forget it? Such are the visions which give vigor to life and joy to death." Sandeep's eyes took fire as he went on, but whether it was the fire of worship or of passion, I couldn't tell. I was reminded of the day on which I first heard him speak, when I could not be sure whether he was a person or just a living flame. I had not the power to utter a word. You cannot take shelter behind the walls of decorum, when in the moment the fire leaps up and, with the flash of its sword and the roar of its laughter, destroys all the miser's stores. I was in terror lest he should forget himself and take me by the hand, for he shook like a quivering tongue of fire. His eyes showered scorching sparks on me. "Are you forever determined," he cried after a pause, "to make gods of your petty household duties? You who have it in you to send us to life or to death? Is this power of yours to be kept veiled in a sanana? Cast away all false shame, I pray you. Snap your fingers at the whispering around. Take your plunge today into the freedom of the outer world. When, in Sandeep's appeal, his worship of the country gets to be subtly interwoven with his worship of me, then does my blood dance indeed, and the barriers of my hesitation totter. His talks about art and sex, his distinctions between real and unreal, had but clogged my attempts at response with some revolting nastiness. This, however, now again burst into a glow before which my repugnance faded away. I felt that my resplendent womanhood made me indeed a goddess. Why should not its glory flash from my forehead with visible brilliance? Why doesn't my voice find a word, some audible cry, which would be like a sacred spell to my country for its fire initiation? All of a sudden my maid Kemma rushed into the room disheveled. "Give me my wages and let me go," she screamed. "Never in all my life have I been so—" The rest of her speech was drowned in sobs. "What's the matter?" Thako, the Badarani's maid, it appeared, had for no rhyme or reason reviled her in unmeasured terms. She was in such a state it was no manner of use trying to pacify her by saying I would look into the matter afterwards. The slime of domestic life that lay beneath the lotus bank of womanhood came to the surface. Rather than allow Sandeep a prolonged vision of it, I had to hurry back within.